And we're live. Oh boy, 6:01 p.m. in the Pacific on the 27th of September, 2024. Infiniti here. This is the We Are Healing live podcast coming to you live from Northern California here on our last Friday of September. And holy moly, this month went by so quickly. Which, as we move into the last 4 months of the year, it definitely does that every single year. It is insane how fast time flies. And this year, especially because we're having a major paradigm shift going on in 2024. So time is really moving rapidly. So hello, everybody who's here. Welcome, welcome. Happy last Friday of September. Coming to get into the new moon that is next Wednesday. And these energies can already be felt. It is the solar eclipse as well. So tell me, I want to know how you all are feeling. Chime in. Who's here? Tell me who's here watching with me. I'm seeing we have people on X and YouTube, Facebook. Hello, everybody. Don't be shy. Say hello. Won't hurt. Tell me how you're doing. How have you dealt with these energies that we've had this week? This week has been pretty intense energetically. Aside from time moving by very, very quickly. Hey, Karen. There we got some buddies. We have Karen and Adrian, 2 for 1, coming together, sisters. Laura, hello, just joining. Oh, that's okay. You haven't missed much. Welcome, my loves. How is everybody doing? How was your week? I want to know. How are you? We've had a lot of activity with Schumann, which means Gaia's frequency. She's been dealing with and bringing and processing intense energies. We've had a lot of geomagnetic storm stuff and solar energy, solar flares. And it's eclipse season as well. We still have lots going on with retrogrades, and we are now getting more firmly established after a few days. Today's the 27th. We crossed into Libra season on the 21st or the 22nd? I can never remember. Either way. So Libra season really coming in hot with balancing energies, which is great. But in order to create more balanced timelines, we can experience a lot of disruption to help us balance out. So it highlights what needs balancing so we can take care of that. And sometimes the medicine for that is experiences and feelings and triggers and all sorts of stuff that we don't really like. Laura says, I've been going from feeling on top of the world to dead tired in an instant. That is such a good way to put it. I can really relate to that too. Now that you put it that way. Yeah. Very much so. So there's all these positive energies coming through to help us with our ascension. We're in eclipse season. We had a super intense full moon with the full moon in Pisces. And for those of us with moon signs in Pisces, anywhere close to that 25 degree, which I am at 26 degrees, you would have felt that stronger than any other full moon this year, just like I did. Or even if your sun sign is a Pisces, but especially if you're a Pisces moon in that 25 degree, like I said, I am. And so I started feeling the full moon eclipse at the last new moon. And that might sound so strange. It's like, how can you feel a full moon when it's the new moon? I don't know. I wish I had a good explanation for that. But I think for those of us that are so tapped in and so super sensitive to astrological, but especially lunar activity, those of us that do have either water, especially the water signs, water is Luna, is moon. We can feel the next big phase before it comes. And it's hard to explain that, but especially when they're eclipses. Eclipse energies are a whole other ball game. And because they connect to their like 6 month or more, the way that the chain of eclipses are connected to each other, that energy just starts looping and getting all excited before it's even happened. I mean, that's like the best way I can describe it. But in any event, yeah, these energies have been really intense lately with the moon just by itself. One of my clients just got out of 4 cards in their monthly. We do monthlies in my Evolve Now programs and some of the Shaman Circle groups. And I mean, the tiers for my Shaman Circle group. I didn't say that right. I am tired. I'm not going to lie. And anyway, his first 2 cards were moon related, big time moon related. And that was just like, here we go, moon energy coming through really strongly, and specifically for that one person. But it's just been very lunar heavy lately, for sure. Karen says, we had to euthanize our little beloved 15-year-old dog, named Polo. Hey, Michelle. Hi, Sandra, Michelle. Oh, I'm sorry, Karen. We both have been feeling a little tired and feeling emotional from missing our little dog. I bet, to be honest, we haven't been paying attention to the moon lately. Oh, well, that would definitely influence these events and these feelings, make things more emotional with these intense happenings with the moon. So when you can get back into paying attention to the moon and all this other stuff, I try to do my best to keep you guys informed, and I channel whatever messages that, aside from the moon, other important happenings with astrology or gateways, portals, and things like this. Yeah. So, but back to what Laura had said, I've been going from feeling on top of the world to dead tired in an instant. Yeah. So it's like, the same energies that are making us feel really good and positive and happy to, be where we are and grateful and blessed and all that good stuff, feeling like we're really making progress, like things are moving and shifting, and because they are, that same energy can kind of overwhelm the system. I guess that's the best way to put it. When we're going through our processes and our spiritual awakening and ascension and all of that, these really intense activations and light codes come through to integrate with us, to get us basically to be in a higher state of mind, higher consciousness, higher awareness, more connectedness. And the thing that's really, something to remember is that our sensitivities or our power, increasing our psychic abilities, our abilities to sense and feel and work with and move and shift and transmute energy with ourselves and the environment and for other people, or with other people for that matter, or divine beings, is directly proportional to how sensitive we are with all sorts of things. We can't get more powerful psychically, energetically, spiritually, without also becoming more sensitive to energy, which means that we're just more tapped in, more aware, more conscious, more in tune. Not just feeling energy and being sensitive to energy, but not really understanding energy. That's a different thing. So a lot of times people think like, oh, more sensitive to energy, I don't want that. Like, well, you can't be more powerful, more psychic and manifest, with greater ease and experience magic and astral travel and shift your timelines and all these things at a really, more advanced eventually level, if you're not also more sensitive, more refined. It's another way to put it. But in order to do that and to level up, which so many of us are in a leveling up, especially if you work with me, you're in my groups, you work with me one-on-one and have been, if you're in my Evolve Now my Soul Quest program, the last one we just ended a couple weeks ago, all of them are in a major leveling up. Congratulations to all of you. And, that shift in our sensitivity happens from, kind of pulling us apart and receiving more within ourselves, our beingness, through all our bodies, all our energy systems. Again, refining, raising our vibration so we can connect to the higher realms and worlds and divine beings, take ourselves out of the lower densities, the material fear-based matrix, see, acknowledge, deal with in whatever ways we need to deal with and heal from those fears, illusions, stories, triggers, blocks, traumas, etc. So we can have our higher vibration. So this is like a secular kind of thing. This is why we say those who really know and understand and guide properly want to make sure that the people who they're teaching understand that this set of processes is never finished. Like literally ever, not for any of your incarnations, not for your soul as a whole, just it's infinite. That's why my spirit name is Infiniti, to help us remember and understand the infinite nature of our souls, and therefore the infinite nature of our evolution. It is never, ever, ever going to be finished. It's never going to be done. It's just going to go on infinitely, and we're going to continue to evolve through our incarnations, through all of those incarnations, and that affecting the whole soul. But when we bring it down back to where we are now and we're moving forward, we're leveling up, we're working deeper with ourselves, we're eliminating wounds, we're healing, we're connecting, we're reconnecting. Especially again, if you're working with me in my groups, and especially like something like the Soul Quest, that makes it so you're going to connect more with yourself and your soul. You will level up. It will get you more in tune with yourself and all sorts of stuff. That's the whole point. But through that, there's that sensitivity, there's that energy highs and the emotional highs, and then the energetic lows, because our systems are being literally reformatted. As if that's not enough on its own and individually, we also have the entire paradigm that's reformatting right now and has been since June. So, with all that said, as the paradigm and the timelines of people in this paradigm are shifting, their consciousness timelines are shifting as well. The very fabric of our reality is changing shape and form. This is when we'll notice what's called the Mandela effect, which is freaky deaky shit. To say the least. I've had a few of them lately, where, well, let me tell you about the biggest one I've had. This one is very interesting. And I've never experienced something like this before. And it just happened a couple weeks ago. Now, mind you, obviously I know about this paradigm shift. I've been the one talking about it for, months and fully aware of it. I certainly, I got a hair like right across my lip. There we go. Oh, that's annoying. Things felt really kind of strange when I came back from staying in Reading for a week, when there was the huge park fire and almost 500,000 acres burned. It burned for a solid month between literally the very end of July and all through August. But we evacuated that last Friday of July, and then I stayed at a Motel 6 in Reading, near the river, and I went to the river, and I've talked about this, how I went to the river like at least twice a day to take the dogs and, exercise them and stuff, because we're in a motel room and we're used to so much space up here in the mountains. So anyway, as I was coming back, it felt very strange. When I came back home, things just felt strange. It's hard to describe what that is. It's just strange. It just felt like reality was folding in on itself, and there was a convergence happening, that was an interesting experience, to say the least. And then, the rest of the month goes by, things started to kind of not feel so strange, look so strange. There was just a lot of strangeness. And being up here in the mountains, you can really feel that, because there aren't the distractions of other people and buildings and cars and all sorts of stuff. You're really tapped into nature, especially if you're me. And this is why I'm here. And the energies that were oscillating between Mount Lassen and Mount Shasta, where I live, were just extremely intense. It's very, very intense. Okay, so fast forward to a couple weeks ago. I wake up and I see on Twitter a tweet from the local, or from Cal Fire, which I started following when we had the wildfire, just to obviously keep up with what was going on. And it said Cal Fire Tahama. And for a split second, it didn't register. But I was going to say something. The tweet was like, oh, it was about controlled fires. Like, this is a weekend you can have controlled fires on your property. And I was going to ask something about this specific area in the county. And then I went, wait a minute. What did that say? It said Cal Fire Tahama. And the county that I live in is Tehama. And so I'm like, that's just so strange. Why would they mess with the name? Willow, I hope you're doing well too. How are you doing? Welcome. I'm telling the story of a very interesting experience that I've had recently. So yeah, I think to myself, why would they mess with the name? This is so confusing. And then I just have this like immediate understanding, like, oh, it's Tehama now. We had a shift. We had a paradigm shift, and everything is going to say Tehama. I just knew it. And everybody, most everybody that I would ask about Tehama versus Tehama, people that have been here their whole lives, when it was Tehama, would be like, it's always been Tehama. Because that's what happens. People don't remember what was, they remember what is, because now they're in this reality. And that's exactly what happened. Except for one person, our own Arya, because I checked in with her. Mandela shitty. Well, it's just, it's a real, like I said earlier, like I've never experienced anything like that, other than the same ones that other people have experienced. There's, the ones, the Berenstein, actually what it's named after. People either thinking that certain events did or didn't happen. People were alive or not alive, all these things. I'm sad to say Nick passed away on the eclipse. Oh, wow. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm so sorry for your loss. I didn't know that you were still in contact with Nick. Yeah, you'll have to fill me in on that sometime. But I am very sorry for your loss. Sorry to hear that. But yeah, a lot has changed. But anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on this Tehama thing. But everything that used to say Tehama County said Tehama. Oh yeah, I was talking about how our own Arya, I had asked, I don't know if Arya is here. And chime in if you guys are here. Let me know that you're here. I don't know who's here unless you do that. What does that say? We have people across all the channels. Thanks for being here. X, Facebook, YouTube. I appreciate it. So anyway, I had asked Aria, and I can't remember exactly how I posed it to her, but I was like, are you familiar with this county? Because she lives up in Washington. I'm in Northern California, and she's come down here. So, and she's a traveler by car traveler. And I figured she would know. Hello, Sarah. I figured she would know, and or one way or the other. And she actually remembered Tehima as well. And I said, well, if you go and look it up anywhere, like street signs, envelopes that I got from months ago that said Tehima County, things written at anywhere, stuff online, anywhere that this county, this huge county in Northern California, now it's Tehama. It used to be Tehima, changed literally in an instant. And I went to sleep with it one way and woke up with it another way. And even the other day, I was talking with one of my neighbors. He came over to help me. And he was talking about stuff. And he's like, oh, yeah, you know, in Tehama County, blah, 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 blah. Like he had said it a million times. And I just sat there and just went, it's just wild shit. So that's a thing. The other couple of things that have happened, and I've noticed that things have just materialized and they were old things. And this is what's really interesting. So I'm the only one who lives on this property. It's a private road. It's gated. And there's no way for things to just randomly show up. However, after this whole Tehama thing, something of note that is definitely like connected to this in a weird way, as I mentioned, we had this wildfire and it was basically Tehama County or Tehama County. I can't. I am never going to be okay with it being Tehama because it is Tehima to me, and it's just so weird. But anyway, it was this county that burned so much. There was so much activity and so much energy and all this stuff going on. Like I said, 500,000 acres burned in this county. It's like the fourth or the fifth largest fire in California history. And this county's name changed. Right? That's interesting to me. So anyway. So a couple other things popped up that weren't there before. There's this old-timey like log splitter that just showed up by one of my trees. That's like, I don't even know how old. Like it looks sub 1800s. It's just sitting over by one of my trees. Nobody brought it here. It looks like it's been there forever. Never seen it before. It's just there. And then the other thing that happened was I was walking with the dogs, and there was this like the same path I always walk with the dogs. And I've walked with the dogs for 15, 16 months since I've moved in here. And there's this big hook just sitting there, like coming out of the ground, like one of those like big metal hooks. And I was like, what the heck? And I went to pick it up, and it was connected to this really long, really old chain link. Chain. And that was not there before either. There's been other glitches for sure at this point, like over the last couple weeks that I've experienced, in our fabric of time and reality. I think that has a lot to do also with, Adrian says Mandela effects are happening everywhere. Oh, I'm sure they are. Yeah, these are just my personal ones. I haven't heard of any or seen other people talk of them, but I know obviously they are for sure. If you have your own experience, please share. But there's definitely what I, would say like glitches, just like time repeating itself for a whole like minute or two, repeating itself that just happened. It's weird shit. So it's and these things are part of the paradigm shift, part of the new vibrations, things leaving our reality that was behind the wall of illusion that's coming to the light. That has a lot to do with it, and just the energies that are coming through that are going to, help awaken people. There's a lot of people that are semi-awake right now. I posted about it earlier. I was like, yeah, I was definitely in a mood today, because some other shit went down. There's always opposition in this spiritual war, and sometimes, even though I can see what's going on, sometimes when people are what I call infiltrated, I don't know why I said it that way, infiltrated, and twisted in their vibration to do things that are, I guess, for lack of a better way to put it, just dark side, dishonest, false, take that as far as you want to take that. It's, there's times where it's definitely going to be a lot more irritating. But that's the point, is to get me mad and irritated. So it's just more like I see it for what it is, and it's like, here we go again. It's not like I feel like, oh, I'm under attack and poor woe is me. And I don't get that way. I get defiant. I get stronger with each attack. I'm not going to lie and say, that it's not tiring. Because of course it is. It's going to be tiring. But it's not, it's just more of, just gearing up. Sometimes gearing up for the fight is more tiring than the actual fight, because the fight is not with the dark. The fight is with ourselves, being and staying in the light. If we try to fight the dark, we've lost already, because that's what they want. And it's really important to remember that. Really, really important to remember that. Mind your P's and Q's. Don't let them push you around. Don't take the bait to get angry. To get, getting defiant is one thing. That's like a power move. Like, you're not going to mess with me, kind of energy, and you got to gear up for that. Like, okay, we're in this like thing right now, and it's about pointing that intention and that target back at yourself instead of outwards, and how you're mad or angry that someone did something or something is going. There's a lot of crazy shit that is coming to light, and a lot of messed up stuff that people are becoming more aware of. And if we allow these truths to really lower our vibration, then we're defeating the purpose of it coming to the light. We need to stay vigilant in mastering our vibration. I'm not saying that it's exactly easy, but the sooner you can take yourself from the state of, frustration to the state of awareness as to exactly what is really going on, that will help remind you not to take the bait into negativity. No matter, how personal or how global a situation is, it is upsetting how much you've been trespassed against, lied to, and attacked on various levels. It's very important to not get into reaction mode and get negative and start fighting dark forces at their level. Because again, that is all they want you to do. So you have to literally go against that manipulation and rise above it and take yourself above it to see it for what it is. Practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect, my friends. So anyway, does anybody have any questions or comments about this that I've shared with you when it comes to the paradigm shift, Mandela effects, reality kind of folding in on itself and opening back up a little different, feeling these energies like Laura said, and I definitely validate for myself these really amazing highs and energy and inspiration and motivation to like, oh my God, I think I can just sleep for 20 days. That's definitely a thing. Big shifts as far as, unfortunately, what we've heard from Karen and Adrian and Willow, there have been exits, people leaving their physical bodies, whether animal or human, and crossing over. That definitely happens during these paradigm shifts as well. That's not to say it, it just is. It's one of the things that happens. It happens with stargates as well. There'll be kind of a spike in crossovers during stargates, or right before the end of a stargate. So if the stargate ends on, let's say the 13th, then like the 11th to 12th, 10th, 11th, 12th, there'll be more crossovers. It's interesting. Because that's a shift in timelines that we're moving to through the Stargate. And that is a lot of the times when it's like those timelines are ended. And whomever and whatever was connected to those people or animals for those timelines have new timelines now, with the absence of those people in the physical, at least. So that's certainly a thing that happens. And sometimes I know it's hard to, when you're in the middle of missing and a grieving process, to see it this way, but it really is in so many ways. I can say being who I am and doing what I do, and whether it's divine beings or crossed over loved ones, family or friends or animals, if that connection is meant to, oh, look at all that sun coming through. If that connection is meant to, carry on in a real conscious way between that person or animal and those that are still here, then it will. And sometimes it's even more pure and clear and loving and selfless than it was when they were here. Or it can just grow from where it was here as well, because sometimes being in the physical can make it difficult to have relationships with people. That really doesn't go so much for animals, but it definitely goes for people. And then our crossover animals will definitely, they can certainly go on to be our part of our guides and guardians and our team, and really not leave us, in the physical, yeah. But spirit is never gone. Souls and our different identities of our incarnations of our soul don't just disappear. Of course they don't. So that's always a tangible thing if we choose that, if that's meant to be, it's not one size fits all for this stuff, that's for sure. But yeah. Karen says, we both thank you for sharing your story and educating us about the paradigm shift. Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. So yeah, if you experience these things, maybe not, right now, this year, this paradigm shift, but you could experience these things for yourself in the future. And the thing about them is that most people won't remember what it was. Like I said, they'll remember what it is. So it just takes some, it's not like you can commiserate with a whole lot of people about how weird this whole change is, because they won't know what you're talking about and you'll come off as completely batshit. It's so funny. But yeah, so it's kind of like, you just kind of have to process it, see it for what it is. Okay, so I'm going to take a drink here. I think I'm going to close that door behind me, unless you guys want all that sunlight. I mean, it is pretty awesome. Wait, let me go like this. That is pretty cool. Sun is coming right through that window. So strong. It's so beautiful. Impossible to ignore. Oh my God, it's so bright. Wow. Blinded me. Okay, so let's move on, guys, because like I mentioned, I'm tired. We've all been tired. I know we're all tired. And I have a webinar tomorrow. I'm going to go over my groups. We're going to do something really special tomorrow. And I was guided to make it a registration type of deal. So in order to join me, and so far, this is really funny, because so far the people that I have registered for this webinar about my groups are the people either in or have been in my groups, or no, all of them are in my groups. So what does that tell you? That tells you that if you're in my groups, then you are into my groups and you want to know more about my groups and maybe do more groups and be in there. I have, it's small what I have going on right now, but it's definitely not like, I was thinking about that. I was like, it would have been nice for a bunch of other people to sign up for my webinar that aren't already in my groups. But at the same time, it was like, well, how lovely is that? Look at what that shows you. Like, those that don't know how awesome it is because they haven't been there yet. But the ones that have been and are in them are the ones that are like, oh, tell me more. What's going on? So it was one of those things. At first I was like, what? So at least that's the case now. I wanted to, all jokes aside, I would like more people to join me tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific, Saturday. I'm doing a Saturday webinar for and about my groups. I'm also going to be introducing you to my new Mighty Network. I have a public space that I'm going to be using so much more than like Facebook or anything else for my pictures and videos and messages and all sorts of stuff that I'm, been kind of holding back on because things started feeling weird on Facebook. I think that's also part of this paradigm shift. And having more of a controlled sacred space. So I'm going to show you guys that space tomorrow. I'm going to take you through my different groups. There's new payment options. And I have special gifts for those who sign up by a certain day and, sign up for more than one group and all sorts of stuff. I'm also going to be doing a very special spirit walk for the new moon lunar eclipse. And to be quite honest with you, I don't think I'm actually going to do one tonight. I thought I was going to, but I really do think that I'm just meant to do the one and do it tomorrow. And as it got closer to this live, I even thought like, I don't even know if I am actually supposed to do this live tonight. Because the energies were so heavy over the last few days. It's been a lot. But I was guided to definitely come on live tonight and talk with you all and see you all. And I definitely love this space. And I'm so grateful for those of you who show up and especially, let me know you're here and engage and are a part of this little community that's only going to get, bigger and stronger and grow. But yeah, tonight's just not feeling like the night for that spirit walk. I am going to be doing it tomorrow, and anybody that attends me in the webinar is going to get that spirit walk. It is about October and crossing into October, really firmly getting into Libra season, the solar eclipse, and all that stuff. So that's what I'm going to be doing also tomorrow after I go over the updates and the changes and show you some really cool stuff that's going on with the groups. And aside from that, I have my new Luminous Oracle tribe that starts on the 2nd on the new moon for that lunar eclipse. We're also, if you're in that group, we're going to do a spirit walk in that group as well. That is also going to be for the new moon eclipse. So as you can see, it would be kind of a lot for me and those of us that are going to be in these different spaces to have 3 of these. So we're going to have 2. We're going to have the one tomorrow in the webinar, and we're going to have the one on actually the new moon on Wednesday in that group. And if you've been thinking about joining that group, this would be the time before, when you can start at any time. It's not like you're going to miss the boat if you don't start when we launch. But if you're thinking you're going to do it anyway, then you might want to attend the webinar tomorrow and get further, deeper into what that's about. I did talk about it the other day. On Monday, I did a live that was for our post-equinox energies, because we all said that going on. And but I'm going to go a little bit deeper this time with the group and show you guys some things and share some things that I didn't before. So I'm excited about that. And just so you know, there's several payment options for the different groups. The Luminous Oracle tribe can be as low as $20 a week or $70 a month. And you get so much with it. So anyway, if you're interested in joining me for this webinar, you do have to register, so you will get the information on, let me get the link for you. Whoops. So you'll have the sign-in information, where to go to join me. Of course, it's free. It's a free webinar. And again, we're going to be going over all of my groups. I have 4 groups, 3 that are subscription and ongoing, and 1 that's the Soul Quest program. That's the big granddaddy group. It is a finite program. It's 8 full weeks, 9 meetings, 8 body and soul maps. But that's also incorporated. I'm going to get into that one and special discounts for joining that one. We are not going to do that one again until February. The idea is for that to be ongoing as well. New people coming in, old people going out. But we didn't have any new people coming in. And given what's all coming at this end of this year, we are not going to have another launch for the Soul Quest program until 2025. But I am offering if you register early, I'm offering special discounts and gifts for that. So again, if you've ever been interested in my groups or want to just learn more about them, if they're new to you, if I'm new to you, and maybe my groups are new, this is all new. Go to my website, check me out, and register and meet me back here tomorrow at 6, and I'll take you through all of my groups. And then at the end, I'll do that spirit walk for the new moon solar eclipse in Libra that we have on Wednesday. And I know it's going to be a really awesome spirit walk. They always are. They're magical. We do activations, integrations. It's basically energy healing that everybody is getting. That's the same. It's different than a one-on-one healing with me or a personalized spirit walk, but they're super powerful. And this one that I'm going to be doing in the webinar is not going to be available anywhere else. There isn't going to be a replay. I'm not going to have, it's for that group of people that's going to join me there tomorrow for this webinar. So again, there is the link to register. It's also in the description of this video. And it's super easy. First name, last name, email. You'll get the link to join me. You'll get a reminder to join me. Easy peasy. And if you end up that you can't join me, nobody's going to hunt you down. It's totally okay. But if you can, I guarantee a good time. And hopefully I will inspire you to join us in one or more of my groups. Okay. So with that said, everybody, unless we have any questions, I'm going to get right to doing an oracle reading for us all. And let us not be here so long tonight, since I know we're tired, right? We're going to keep this one short because we have a lot going on the next few days. So got to balance it out, right? Everything's about balance. So let me just see here what decks I am, or what we got going on. I don't know what we got going on here. Let me take a look here. Here are all the decks and all the books that goes with the decks. More over there too, behind my flowers. Oh, get some flower power. Flowers. Are you buying yourself flowers? Buy yourself flowers. Even if you have a garden, even if you grow flowers, buy yourself flowers. It's falling apart on me. Oh my God. It cracked me up. Okay. Sorry, this is taking a minute. Oh yes, this reminds me, likes and loves and follows and shares and subscribes are always welcome. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate that. Okay, there we go. It took a minute, but we got it. My newest deck, and one we're going to be using in the Oracle tribe, is the Shaman's Dream. The Shaman's Dream Oracle. I really dig this deck. I started using it first digitally, an app on my phone, and it was just as magical as its counterpart, the shaman, mystical shaman oracle, but a little different. And anyway, I really enjoy this deck. So we're going to get a card. I think we're just going to do one card tonight, but we'll see. I'm not positive on that. Is everybody doing okay? Tell me who's here. You guys here with me? Everybody's been so quiet. Am I putting you to sleep? I want to relax you, make you feel good, but not so sleepy and dreamy that you can't talk to me either. All right. We are going to get our cards. Our card. Karen and Adrian there. Good. Are you guys going to come to my webinar? Who's coming to my webinar? There's this little gnat buggy right here. Oh my god, what are you? Very interested in me all of a sudden. Oh, well, here we go with the yawns. So I see Karen and Adrian here. Laura says, what does Laura say? I'm awake, but I definitely would have fallen asleep during a spirit walk. Oh, good. I'm glad. Thank you for the oracle reading. Yeah, you plan to attend. Cool. Make sure you register. Not sleeping, watching. Oh, hi. Oh, Michelle. Good. I thought that's in Nicole. It's tilted. I don't have my glasses on. Not sleeping, watching. What's that say? Intensely. Okay, cool. I'll be there. I know you'll be there. Michelle will be there. Laura will be there. Aria will be there. Nicole will be there. You'll both be there tomorrow. Very cool. I'm so glad. We'll have fun. It'll be cool. I'm excited to show you and talk to you about all the new stuff. Very excited. We have some big changes to current groups and, of course, the new group. Good stuff. Anyway, thanks for checking in, you guys. I appreciate it. All right, let's get this card. Oh, there goes the yawns again. Woo. Any of you that are new, that are being quiet, I do get like my ears pop, which you couldn't see, but I get the yawns when I start doing any kind of healing, divination, spirit walks, channelings, and things like this. Like it's just my body adjusting. Oh, so it's coming in. Can you guys hear that frog? Tell me if you can hear the frog. I know I have noise cancellation going on, but it's literally in my swamp cooler right there. And it is so loud. I think we're going to take this. Yeah, I'm not going to split this. We're going to take it right where it's at. I'm going to have to double up here. Don't have a lot of room. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Holy moly. Again, thanks for all of you being here. Whew. All right, let's see what we got. All right, I'm going to take this card and I'm going to leave these here because I'm not sure if I'm supposed to get another one. And we're going to leave it like that for now. This is interesting. Is Willow still here? Because we got card 62, Willow the Wisp. Willow the Wisp, treasures hidden in the shadows. Willow the Wisp. Ooh, how cool is that? I have not seen this card before. Well, many of these cards in this deck I have not seen before. They're new to me too, because like I said, this is the newest of my decks across the board, the newest of my shaman decks. And yeah, one of the ones where all of the decks we're using in the Oracle tribe are shamanistic decks. But this one, here we go. Treasures hidden in the shadows, Willow the Wisp. So let's just start here. Card number 62. This frog is cracking me up. Nigel is barking. Oh, you guys can hear it? It's literally, and I think because it's in that like container, when it makes its croaking noises, it like really projects, like it's like an amplifier. You're so loud. They'll come in through the swamp cooler, through this opening where the swamp cooler is. In those fall and the winter, I put plastic up, and so it's all closed off. So just constant cold air isn't coming through. But in the spring and the summer, it's open, and the little froggies, we have a shit ton of frogs here. Frogs and toads, so many of them. They'll literally, like, I have these like plants and water in vases here, and they're just kind of like everywhere. And they'll find my water vases, and they'll be hanging out. The little froggies will be hanging out in my plants. And then I'll go to water them, and they'll just like pop out. I'll have frogs popping out of my plants in here. It's so funny. I sit here and go, I really do live a fairy tale life. Like, this is wild. It's like what you would imagine, like reading in a fairy tale, cracks me up. Laura says, I am so afraid of frogs. Really? I could not sit there like that. Oh no. We got to get you loving frogs, girl. They are, oh yeah, there are so many frogs around. So many frogs. Like, yeah, they'll just be in my house. Yeah, they're kind of all over the place. Frogs are the cutest. That's a bummer. You're scared of them. We will fix you. She goes, fix me. We will fix you. I used to be deathly afraid of spiders my whole life. There had to be some major trauma there. I still am not conscious of exactly what it was, but many of us have it. I think spiders were used to torture us in some cases because, yeah, it's definitely not just this incarnation where that connects to. But anyhow, I used to be deathly afraid of spiders. After I had my son, and I was the one that needed to like look after somebody else, like protect somebody else instead of people like, oh, spider, help me. I did get over that, but I still wasn't like, let's just share space and spiders can crawl all over me, or I'll pick up a spider or save it from a water, or pick it up without like a glass. I've gotten to the point now where I literally will have spiders crawling on me. If they're in any kind of distress, I'll just go pick them up. Like, I genuinely love spiders now. They're such an amazing spirit animal, and they represent so much. And, frogs do too. All the animals do. And so it's really important for us not to have any fear, when it comes, obviously certain animals we need to respect and stuff like that, but you know what I'm saying. Nicole says, hello, quick question, please. You said replay is not available. Right. Saturdays at 6, I do my cord cut meditation. Yeah, well, I'm not sure how to, balance that out. Yeah, other than you don't do one this week and you join me live instead. But that's up to you, sweetheart. But yeah, that's kind of like a one and done thing for just I'm not guided to, post it or do anything with it. It's supposed to just be like for those that are live. I mean, obviously she's in my Unstoppable Empath group, and that's what it's all about, cord cutting. And Saturdays is when you do it. But, also if you've been consistently doing them every single Saturday, it might be time to take a break. I mean, Nicole does them on a clip that most people can't and don't and wouldn't even try. She does them weekly. As far as I know, you've been consistently doing them weekly. And that's about as fast of a pace that they can be done. They really can't be done any faster than that. But yeah, I mean, I'd love for you to be there. But, if you're really set to do your cord cut, then, definitely, go with that. Every Saturday. Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot, my dear. And it's actually not even advised to do them that often because you really need more time to integrate. Well, we could talk about this more. We have talked about it. So you may just want to take this as the perfect reason to not do one this week. Give yourself a break, do something different, but also, you'll be doing a spirit walk for the new month and the solar eclipse. So that's also pretty important as well, I would say. Oh, she says, okay, see you tomorrow. Okay, good. Yay, that was easy. Make sure you register. And yes, come and see us tomorrow. And yeah, let's take a break. Take a break. You're such a hard worker. You, like I said, like we were talking about you yesterday. Michelle and I were talking about what a beast you are. Seriously, if anybody gets like the dedication hard worker award for cord cutting and cord resets since the moment they started in that group, girl, it is you. Because holy moly, you are a beast. She literally has done a cord cut or a cord reset every single week since she started like 3 months ago. That's phenomenal. And like too much almost. Like it's like too much. So yay, I'm glad you're gonna be there tomorrow. That means a lot. Thank you. It's true. You can go watch the recording. Michelle and I were talking about you when you weren't there yesterday. We were talking about what a beast you are. As our meetings for that group is on Thursdays. And it was just Michelle and I yesterday. And yeah, we were talking about you. But I'm glad you decided to take a break. You definitely deserve it. And I'd love for you to be there at that meeting. Okay, let's get into Willow the Wisp. Treasures hidden in the shadows, the great mystery and epiphany. Willow the Wisp hovers in her luminescent glory above the twilight moors of your life, whispering for you to step into the fog, into the mystery, the unknown. Like joining me at my webinar tomorrow. Okay, I'll stop. You may have been visited by her before, but though intrigued, you refused her invitation. It would be safer, you decided, to remain on the journey you know. While you always have a choice as to whether to follow her or not, you never know when you might encounter her again. In this sense, turning away has its own consequences. Why is the known so appealing? It's only when you wake up to its restrictions, its soft prison or golden cage, that you realize there must be more. Willow the Wisp has come to you once again to offer your magic, but you will have to sacrifice certainty in the pursuit of adventure. your comfort zone for the dangers of discovery, your well-trodden path for the detours that may very well lead you astray. Or will they? Can you accept that losing yourself will bring you closer to your true self? The profound shift of an epiphany can occur only when you risk the detour and enter the unknown. Now is the time to trust higher forces to lead you into this place. These worlds hidden at the threshold between what was and what can be. Here is where you will learn about your own unmaking to unmask yourself. Excuse me. Love what you discover, dark or light. See it all as divine and find a quiet, thrumming power waiting for you to channel it into the world for good. The treasure you find filled with the wealth of love and kindness, true prosperity, is ripe to share with others. She is here for you now. Will you accept her invitation? A great bounty of goodness awaits you. Oh, I love it. This is so awesome. I love this energy. I love this card so much. This is, Michelle is asking, what deck are you using? I'm sorry, did I miss that? This is, I think you may have missed it in the beginning, the Shaman's Dream Oracle. That's what the back looks like. This is one of the decks we're going to be using in the new group, the Oracle group. Excuse me. Whew. Well, I'm all about this card and these energies. That's really kind of what I'm going to bring it back to the groups and the webinar and the whole thing, because that is kind of part of this energy. It's like, and anything else about going into the unknown or joining something that's different or, you know, adventuring in this whole thing. It is about expansion. One of my emails I sent out to my subscribers today, I said very, very short little thing at the top about how, you know, the only way to our true magic is through our expansion. And that comes from going within in a real, meaningful, deep, intense way. And that's really what this is about. It's about saying, you know, I know the known. I know what I'm used to. And that's where most people stay, in the comfort of what they're used to, even if what they're used to isn't what feels good. There's comfort in discomfort for so many of us. And many of us have been there. We know it's familiar. You can count on it, your reality, the way that it is, until, you know, energies start to come in and we start to spiritually awaken, and portals and doors and activations and all sorts of stuff start coming into play that pushes us and pulls us into the doors, at the thresholds, at the portals of the unknown. And that is the only way we're going to get to the true magic, the highest possible timelines, really connecting with our souls and living out our destinies, connecting with the right people, our soul family, and coming together in a really meaningful way. That's the other part of this, is that collaborative, join with me, be in this love space together, where it says the treasure you find filled with a wealth of love and kindness, true prosperity, is ripe to share with others. Because it's so much fun to share with others that appreciate those same things, the magical, spiritual, mind-bending things of each unique experience that we have in our individual timelines. And then when they interweave and converge. And we have shared experiences like we are having right now, and how we will have in tomorrow's webinar, and how we have every single week in every single one of my groups, and why I was and have been and will be guided to facilitate more group experiences, because they're so powerful. And I love groups. I love hosting and facilitating groups. They're so much fun. But take it beyond me and what I do. Just to take this message and apply it to this new moon coming up, this new month coming up, and all of these energies that tell us that we need to follow this energy, this willow, the wisp. What does she say? Treasures hidden in the shadows. That's where you find the magic. That's where the golden nuggets are. Places you've never been before. Expansion. We have to go to places we've never been before. Internally, externally, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, energetically, abundantly. We do all of these things, and if we commit to taking ourselves and doing the work diligently, investing in our time, our energy, our finances, sacrificing, doing other things to really make our health, firstly, our energetic, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical health, the most important thing for us to get dialed in, and then let the chips fall as they may that are going to take us from that place of healing to maximize ourself, our power, our magic, and all that good stuff. And all along the way, those like will-o'-the-wisp, those like our guardian angel, archangels, Gaia herself will nudge us and pull us and magnetize us to places, people, and experiences that are going to help us expand and go into shadowy places that we're like, oh, what's in there? What will we find there? And see that we will never be led any place through our ascension, through our healing, that is going to be detrimental for us. We'll experience things that may not be so fun and comfortable, because that's just the nature of healing and expansion and birth and rebirth. Being born and birthing anything is usually difficult and messy, but also magical and beautiful. So it's all of that. And that's what we're in the process of right now. Okay. Should I get one more card? Should we do one more card? This was a great one. Let's see. I think I'm feeling a yes on that. Yep. Okay. Michelle says yes. Yep. I'm feeling a yes on that. And I'm also feeling that it's going to be this card. I already know it. It is that card. It was very close to like being the card, but I was guided to pick this other one instead. So let's put away these other ones, and we'll have our second card of the night, and then we'll go night-night. We'll go bye-bye. Let's see what it is. Oh, look at this. Vanishing Mirror. Card number 58, Ego Sublimation. Vanishing Mirror. Ooh, this is going to be a good one. This is also, look at, they're both blues. Look at these colors. Okay, you know what's really interesting is that Nicole Preta. Hello, Nicole. What's really interesting is that the card that we just got earlier, Will o' the Wisp, card number 62, that is an 8. And then this is card number 58, Vanishing Mirror, which is a 13. And I shit you not, you guys, and I know that some of you know this, the 813 code, light code, is a big one. So I'm not going to get off on that tangent. I'm just guided to share. We have this overlay of this really intense light code. The it's either the 138 or the 8138, whatever that combination is. And that is about the one, the all, the infinity, all at once. And it marks whenever those numbers come up. And if I had $1 for every 13 or with an 8 or 8 with a 13 that I've seen or have a screenshot of, I would have a shit ton of dollars. Because this, or the combination that equals that, like 62 or 58. Just saying, that is here. And obviously why we needed these two cards, why I felt the other card so strongly to begin with. It was just a matter of time to get them both. So there we go. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Wait, that's not it. There we go. Vanishing Mirror. One more time, you guys. Ego sublimation, Vanishing Mirror. And then we will go after this. Okay, everybody? Again, thanks for being here, loves. Ego sublimation, letting go of self-centeredness, becoming a vessel of possibility. Ooh, I love it. Do you ever wonder if your self-definition has become too rigid, too fixed around what you've come to learn, so that you contract your life into zones of safe versus unsafe? This here is okay, but over there, well, that might be too risky. Judgment, fear, self-righteousness, and overconfidence are only some of the traits that keep you from evolving. We are all products of our conditioning. So remember that this is part of the human experience. Yet you are not meant to remain static, seeking only what you expect, even if it appears ambitious, is still too narrow. You go nowhere when you hesitate to move out of your comfort zone. When you focus too much on yourself this way, you become a servant of the ego. It edges God out, removing the magic of possibility. Imagine looking into a mirror and seeing only what you are now. If you can let your self-definition soften, moving beyond the veil to your potential, a magical emptiness exists where all things are possible. Look again, who could you be? What would you see reflected if you allowed yourself to be other than how you define yourself now? Nothing less is required of you now. In this moment, let go of who you think you are and allow a new you to emerge. You will recognize yourself as what you are, a partner in co-creation in service of the divine. Doesn't it feel good? Oh, I love it when two cards come together to say very similar messages in just a little bit of different ways, to offer another look at the same message. And that's basically what we have here. Go into the unknown, let go of what you think you know, who you think you are, because that's a limit. When we think we're done being baked, we know all the answers, when there isn't anything left to expand on, that is static, that is stasis. And stasis is cool for a short amount of time here and there. We need stasis. We need breaks. We need things to be what they are for a while before we have further evolution. That's how we have evolution, by getting used to the new normal, by redefining ourselves and seeing who we are now versus who we were then. That's kind of the backbone of the Soul Quest program as well. And that what that means is that we are saying, okay, I've gotten to whatever point this is. There is most definitely more. Who am I? What am I? What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to co-create? I don't know, but I know that where I've been is just taking me further to where I'm meant to go, how I'm supposed to move forward, what I'm supposed to connect to, acknowledge, activate, integrate, and co-create through that new configuration. And that's truly what this is. This is a constant reconfiguration of who we are, and what we're experiencing in this ever shifting co-creational realm upon Gaia. And then when we take it out to the all and to everything, it all has that energy. If we tap into our divine and most beautiful mother, father, God, the divine feminine and masculine, they are, and as existence is, as creation is ever and infinitely expanding and growing and changing and mutating and rebuilding and dying and birthing and all of these things, that is within us. We are that as well. And just as limitless as creation is, as mother, father, God and their divine feminine and masculine energies, we are too. Gaia is too. Gaia, beautiful, divine, special, perfect Gaia. Gaia is heaven. All the beautiful, all these elements. Look around. Just look at the room that you're in right now. Look at the people that you're with. Look at all the things in the room that you're with, from the lights to the TV, to the computer, the phone, to the walls, to the tables, to the furniture, all of it was co-created by everything that Gaia has given us. I think we forget that, it's easy to forget that we have magic all around us. We just don't see it as magical because it's just so ordinary in our world. Everywhere we go, we see these same things, but we take ourselves into nature and these things don't exist. We have nature that exists there, and nature is where everything comes from, including us. And Gaia shows us, look at what can be created and co-created with the right tools and the right ideas for expansion. Right? So if we are that too, just like this card, the vanishing mirror, the message of this card is, don't believe in limitations and believe that anything is possible, because anything is possible and everything is possible. And that's not just like, some cliche. Trust me, it is not. And the more you expand and evolve and ascend and heal and experience magic, the more you see magic and experience magic and how anything is possible. I've experienced and seen and been a part of things that are mind-bending and blowing that most people would never, I couldn't imagine, unless, because I was there, experienced it. I'm like, okay, this is amazing. On whatever side of the spectrum it may be. And I've experienced so many miracles. And I'm constantly told, anything is possible. You just need to decide that anything is possible. Make the choice. Have faith in yourself, in you as a divine incarnate, as a powerful vessel of the divine in this incarnation, that you have the authority to command that your guides and guardians and your soul family come and help you. And that's not an egotistical commanding. It's a empowered birthright, divine incarnate Stepping into your true power, commanding. I don't need to be in strife and chaos and drama and bullshit in my life anymore. I want a different timeline, one that's easy and healthy and beautiful and magical. And I'm going to find that timeline. And if you tell yourself that, you will. It won't just pop up like this, like in a fairy tale. Poof, there she is. She's in a totally different world and timeline. And no, it doesn't work like that. You actually have to take the steps and expand yourself and heal and connect. It takes all this work. It's something else Michelle and I were talking about. It's like it takes actual work. Like we were talking about with Nicole. She has been pounding it out, working on herself, forging herself, refining herself on a clip and with dedication on a weekly basis, which means she's doing a shit ton of work to get to that one day that she's doing that work for herself on Saturdays. Most of you wouldn't know that if you're not in the group, but those of you who do know exactly what that entails. And this is just one example. I'm using her because she's been here and we're talking about her and this is all going on. But that's an example of dedication to oneself, of knowing I am changing. And she's doing this because each week, if she wasn't experiencing change and magical happenings and a shift in herself on all levels, do you think she would be this dedicated with herself, continuing week after week after week? No, she would not. That would be kind of nuts. She's not getting anything out of it. She's most certainly getting quite a lot out of it, and it's changing her. And for the better. She's getting stronger and clearer and lighter in all ways. And that is the kind of energy that we need. We need to have that dedication. I know I'm a little hardcore with this. That's just me. That's my life. But that's what I want to. And that's what the cards are telling us. That's what the motivation here is, to be in a limitless state of mind. That's what's coming through right now. If you catch yourself feeling limited, thinking in limited ways, I don't have enough, I can't, there's not enough time, I don't know how, what if, any of those things. What about them? What about him? What about her? What about that? What about this? What about that? I mean, we can choke on all the reasons and excuses to not expand ourselves, to stay in that golden cage of comfort that is doing nothing for our evolution. We bottom out. We hit the ceiling if we don't continue to be hungry for our evolution. We need to be hungry. You need to be like, I'm hungry for it. Because that's the kind of energy that keeps you going when it is hard and you are tired and you are sore and you do life and life is complicated and we're overlaying spirituality and all of this woo stuff on top of it. But if you're hungry to experience yourself as your most magical and most prosperous and most connected and most abundant and most glorious, not because, you want this for your ego, but because you're meant to, because that is your birthright, to not be limited by fears, illusions, programs, and anything else that we get birthed into in the material matrix, and the fear and the programs and all the things that keep us and tell us that we're limited. And when we believe we're limited, then we're limited. But when we know we're unlimited, then that's the truth. Because it's really not true to be limited. Our story and our reality can reflect limitations because we've decided we're limited. But once you start cracking out of that jail and seeing that there's infinite expansion left to you. There's actually nothing standing in your way other than your perception of reality and what you're capable of. Then everything starts to shift. So that's what's coming through here about this. On both of these sides with these cards, Will-o'-the-Wisp saying, come with me into the unknown. This is how you expand. This is how you evolve. This is where all the golden nuggets and beautiful treasures lie that are magical, that you need to experience. And then the Vanishing Mirror says, you're going to be different. You're going to drop the mask. You're going to drop the shell and the costume and the stories that define who you think you are. That's the other thing in the Soul Quest program. That is the second to last map is your true identity, because your identity does change and shift, and it evolves from phase to phase to phase. So this is about saying, I'm stepping into the unknown, even as to what that means about who I am. And that's what the ego doesn't like. That's why it's called ego sublimation, because the ego is like, no, I got to know who I am. I got to be in control. I am none of this crazy woo-woo shit. What are you talking about? Let's go. Let's get out of here. We want nothing to do with this, because that means I don't know everything about who I am and how I work. And, I'm not in control and setting my ways and all this, whatever crap. And we have to say, yeah, yo, ego, shut up. Shut up. You're scared, but I'm not. And you have to just continue to put that ego in check that tries to get you to want to stay in control. And because that's just bullshit. There's no such thing anyway. It's an illusion to think that we control. So we have to see that for what it is too. But at the end of the day, this is really both of these cards together. I love so much. Again, one more time, everybody, because it's this nudge into greater fulfillment and balance and alignment through your expansion and into the shadows and the unknown, and to allow yourself to step up to the mirror and have it just fall away, and there not be this facade to look at, to attach your identity to, or a title of mother, daughter, father, son, husband, wife, friend, daughter, whatever, like we can have so many titles and identities that can be a prison to us, because we feel beholden to not expand from that and those identities. And that is a detriment to our own development and evolution. And when we're awake, we're meant to expand and rebirth ourselves into something we don't yet know what that is. We don't know until we're there, but we have to take it step by step, So there you go. I hope you're inspired with all of that. What does this say? Gladiator Dome. Hello, came across this on YouTube. New here. Oh, very cool. I'm glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. I am also hosting a webinar tomorrow. You have to register for it. I'm going to be going through all of my groups, and I have really cool gifts and fun things to talk about. So if you want to take a look at my description of this video, you'll see it says you can register for the webinar tomorrow if you're interested. Anybody here is interested in see that earlier. I did put also the or let me see if that's what that is. Oh, here, I'll do it again. There you go. For anybody who may have missed it, follow this link to register for the private webinar tomorrow. You have to have registration to join me, 6 p.m. tomorrow, Saturday the 28th. I'm going to do a spirit walk for the new moon lunar solar eclipse. I thought I was going to do that today, but it's just too much. Um, and we're going to do that tomorrow in that private webinar. Everybody's invited. It's totally free. More the merrier. Bring a friend. I will get into all of my groups and explain out all the changes and the updates and the gifts that you're entitled to get for being there, for signing up, and all the good stuff. Let me know, speak now or forever hold your peace if you have any questions or comments. And once again, before we go, if you can give me likes and loves, shares, and follows and subscribes, I would greatly appreciate it. And also going to my website, infiniteempath.com, and signing up for my emails so you don't miss anything as well. And other than that, and other than tomorrow at our webinar, I will see you back here next Friday, as always, or almost always, barring emergencies like wildfires and sick dogs. I will be here with you 6 p.m. every Friday at the We Are Healing Live podcast, live on YouTube, X, and Facebook. And I love you all. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. You're the best. I guess we don't have any questions or comments about any of this. Everybody is like I call this pancake energy, just laid out. All right, you guys, I love you. I will see some of you tomorrow, hopefully a whole bunch of you. Hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Here come my dogs, as they know I am saying goodbye. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night, everybody. Mwah! See you later, alligators. Bye. Say bye. Bye, and thank you from Karen and Adrian. Oh, thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye. Bye-bye.